Houston MBDA Business Center's 6th Annual Salute to Minorities in Construction. MBDA stands for Minority Business Development Agency. I'm your host, Misty Starks. Each year, the Houston MBDA recognizes minority-owned companies in the local construction industry and other organizations that support those businesses. This year, minority firms have had to be even more resilient due to the pandemic, so we are especially excited to honor them today. Now I want to welcome Maya DeNervo, Chief Entrepreneurial Officer at Houston Community College.
It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 6th Annual Salute to Minorities in Construction virtual luncheon. We're thrilled you can join us virtually, even though we wish we were together. Salute to Minorities is our way to acknowledge and applaud those businesses and individuals who support and promote minority business owners, and our heartfelt congratulations to all the award winners today. This is what your beautiful award looks like. Over the past 6 years, this event has grown both in capacity and inclusion and has evolved into one of HCC's signature programs. MBDA has made an enormous impact in Houston through the contracting dollars and financial growth of minority businesses. And when you take both numbers, it's $1 billion in growth of minority-owned businesses. That's really impressive. I'm enormously proud and honored of the team who makes this possible. Gabriela Zambrano, our director, Mark Prague and Deidre Sutton, our business advisors, and Jessica Vasquez, our office manager. Welcome to each of you, and so glad you are with us today.
Hi, my name is Gabriela Zambrano, and I'm the director of the Houston MBDA Business Center. MBDA is the only federal program dedicated to help and grow existing minority-owned businesses. This is our 6th year presenting Salute to Minorities in Construction, and we appreciate you supporting this program and minority-owned businesses. Since I became a director, we have tripled the amount of events, and we have created the certification spreadsheet, a guide to proposal writing, and a procurement guide for our clients to use. Also, we received for the 6th year in a row the Century Club Award, which is a recognition from the MBDA headquarters for going above and beyond our goals. We work diligently to connect our clients with prime contractors, government entities, and lenders. Some example of how we assist our client. A large prime contractor was new in town and needed disadvantaged business enterprise certified subcontractor for a project at Intercontinental Airport. We refer a client for the project and they receive a $4.6 million contract. Not bad, right? One of our most successful matchmaking effort is our Subs and Sandwich event, which is an opportunity for subcontractors and large companies to meet and discuss upcoming procurement opportunities. After COVID, we pivoted our events to a virtual format. This year, for the first time, we presented an online Export Academy in collaboration with the U.S. Commercial Service and the Houston District Export Council. We started this initiative because minority-owned businesses are twice as likely to export compared with non-minority-owned firms. We're excited to announce that 42 firms graduated from the Academy.
This program would not be possible without the tremendous support of our sponsors. Our platinum sponsors are Hancock Whitney and Cadence Bank. Our gold sponsors are Allegiance Bank, Andrade Concrete and Construction Incorporated, Associated Builders and Contractors of Greater Houston, Emerald Standard Services, Houston Community College, HCC Procurement Small Business Development, Merrick Brothers, and Raytech Construction Resources. Our silver sponsors are Austin Commercial, Gadberry Construction Company, Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses, J.E. Dunn Construction, Lift Fund, Manhattan Construction Company, Block Companies, McCarthy Building Companies, Morganti, Texas, Port Houston, the Gonzalez Group, and the City of Houston Office of Business Opportunity. We will now hear from Reverend Charles Graves IV, Episcopal Chaplain, University of Houston, who will give the invocation.
Let us pray. God of grace, God of mercy, God of wisdom, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to praise and celebrate our honorees, awardees, and participants this day. We ask your blessings on all at the MBDA. We ask your blessings on all of our families, our loved ones, and those near and around us at this moment. We ask your blessings throughout this difficult year, and we ask your blessings that this opportunity, this day, may allow us to inspire and give grace and give light to one another. I leave us with the prayer of St. John Chrysostom in the Book of Common Prayer. Almighty God, you have given us grace at this time with one accord to make our common supplication to you. And you have promised that when 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, you will be in the midst of them. Fulfill now, O Lord, our desires and petitions as may be best for us, granting us in this world knowledge of your truth, and in the age to come, life everlasting. Amen.
We are so pleased that there are corporations that recognize the vast contributions of minority-owned construction companies to the Houston community. Now, let's hear from one of those corporations, Platinum sponsor Hancock Whitney.
First of all, it's affected, each thing we touch every day. I mean, you think about the associates, you think about your clients, you have to first think about the health and safety of all involved. So we've had to re-examine how we do business. Obviously, we're doing more Zoom calls than we ever had imagined, more virtual meetings. Obviously, we're here today, a virtual meeting to talk about, MBDA. And, in the past, we'd all be together at a luncheon. So it's just taken us some time to figure out the best way to attack, a situation like this. And, I think if you think about people first and, what their needs are, either if it's your employees or business, I think you make the right decisions. And we've seen that time and time again with our clients who've come to us, whether it's been, having to consider amendments, adjustments to request, PPP fundings, as I mentioned previously, all these other factors that have come into play that have required us to think differently as of COVID. Hancock Whitney, our bank has been around for a long time. When you think of Hancock Whitney, you say, two old line banks, Hancock and Whitney. Hancock founded in Mississippi in 1899. Whitney founded in 1883 in Louisiana. And when you talk about that kind of timeline, you usually talk about relationships. So we like to present ourselves as a relationship bank. I think that showed itself pretty clearly through the PPP loan process, for example. In that scenario, as a bank, we put forth and processed over close to $2.5 billion in PPP loans, which is pretty strong for a bank our size, a little over $30 billion bank. Top 20 in the nation. So I like to think that, as a relationship bank, we're here for our clients in the good times and the bad times. I like to also consider it from the perspective of, when you have a large company, mid-corporate type company, we're able to provide services to those guys. We can also look at small business. We can look at private banking, trust, wealth management, you name it, we can do it. And I think that speaks to our competitive model here. You provide all the products and services that the competitors do, but you do it in more of a community bank feel. Obviously, it's very important for minorities to have a seat at the table when it comes to business opportunities. I think if you look at our country, our region, our city, diversity is key. I think, you look, the country's become more diverse. Houston is one of the most diverse cities in this country. And I think it also speaks to why the city has done so well. It's a very accepting city, and having the right people together makes the difference. I've seen it personally in my life, and I've seen it here at this bank. And our goal is to make sure that we have a group of bankers that are comfortable across the spectrum with all clients and being able to help them with their needs. As you look at the community going forward, I think as we look to grow and go on from this pandemic, a diverse community is what we have and will continue to have. And so continuing to support efforts like MBDA is crucial for our bank and our city. I think it's very important for Hancock Whitney to be involved in this event because it shows our commitment to the community. I think when you think about partners that you want to team up with who are doing the right things and presenting in a way that you feel comfortable partnering with, MBDA sticks out. And so from this perspective, we think this is the beginning of a very long relationship. We want to become more and more active with the group. And I think, the purpose of their mission ties in very well what we feel like is very important for our mission as well as a bank and a community as a whole, and that's supporting the citizens in the community. Again, we've talked about how diverse Houston is, how much minorities are a part of this community, so making sure they have equal access and opportunities is vital to the city, vital to our bank. So we want to partner with good groups that are trying to foster that same thought.
We are so fortunate to also have Cadence Bank as a platinum sponsor of this event.
Cadence Bank prides itself on our commitment to our community. We have a long-standing relationship with the Houston MBDA. And that includes over the years sponsorships, supplier diversity outreach, and banking referrals. I've had the pleasure of attending this luncheon for several years, and I admire the work of this great organization bringing together and supporting minority-owned businesses. We were thrilled to present a virtual subs and sandwiches workshop this fall, sharing our efforts to increase our supplier diversity and introducing some of our products and services that are tailor-made for small businesses. As we continue to expand our work with small and diverse businesses, I'm certain that our relationship with the Houston MBDA will strengthen and grow. As a platinum sponsor to the Salute to Minorities in Construction event, we're happy to show our gratitude to this organization for the work that it does in the greater Houston community.
Cadence Bank is a $17.2 billion bank holding company headquartered right here in Houston. It's traded on the New York Stock Exchange and is under the leadership of Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Director Paul B. Murphy Jr. Mr. Murphy has served at Cadence and its predecessors since 2009. Prior to joining the company, he spent 20 years at Amegy Bank of Texas, amassing an impressive roster of accomplishments. Over the course of 2 decades, he helped Amegy grow from one location and assets of $75 million to 85 banking centers and $11 billion in assets at the time of his departure. Mr. Murphy actively supports the community through his various board work for nonprofit organizations and corporations. Some of the boards he serves on include Oceaneering International Incorporated, Natural Resource Partners, Hope and Healing Center and Institute, the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and the City of Houston Complete Communities Advisory Board. Mr. Murphy holds a bachelor's degree in banking and finance from Mississippi State University and an MBA from the University of Texas at Austin. I'm pleased to introduce our keynote speaker, Paul B. Murphy Jr., Chairman and CEO Director of Cadence Bank Corporation.
Well, good afternoon. I certainly wish we could all be live and in person together. Before I begin my comments, I want to tell you a quick story about my son, Trey. This is many years ago. We are at our hunting lease in South Texas, and at the time we had a television on the roof of the Suburban, and Trey is adjusting the TV as we're riding along a bumpy road. I warn him, Trey, not now. He ignores my advice, and after a second warning, Trey's hand hits the TV. It comes falling out of the ceiling. Pretty, major repair is necessary. And so I say, okay, Trey, I think your responsibility is going to pay for part of the repairs. And Trey said, hey, Dad, I don't have any money. And Trey's allowance at the time was $20 a month. And I said, Trey, your portion is going to be $120. And he said, yeah, okay, Dad, I can pay $10 a month for 12 months. And I said, no, son, you're going to pay $10 a month for 14 months. And Trey paused and said, let me be sure, this is how you make your living, by ripping off America. And I paused and said, well, son, it's actually working out pretty well for you, and productivity of capital, and that's how the world works. So I'm happy to report that Trey is now a productive young adult and has a job at a bank, and has changed his tune a little bit about the profession of being a banker. But I'm pleased to join you today as we celebrate the many contributions that minorities have made to the construction industry. On behalf of Cadence Bank, we applaud these efforts, and we recognize the value that diversity, equity, and inclusion brings to our business and to our economy. Minority-owned businesses will continue to influence economic growth as more and more companies place an emphasis on diverse demographics. According to a recent Department of Commerce study, the minority population will account for as much as 70% of the total increase in purchasing power in the next 25 years. Today, we see many positive examples of minority workers stepping into a leadership role, owning their own business, both within and outside of the construction industry. We'd like to see more. And to bring about that change, we need to act. Businesses have never been more action-oriented now than making diversity, equity, and inclusion a top priority. Pledges to the CEO Action for Diversity and Inclusion to support a more inclusive workplace have reached 1,300 plus. The American Banker Association launched recently their first ever Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Summit for bankers nationwide. This event is really an important part of the continuing meaningful dialogue of fostering positive change in the banking industry. Let me pause for a moment and talk about what is Cadence Bank doing? What action are we taking? In 2019, we announced a plan to lend or invest more than $2.5 billion over a 5-year period for products serving traditionally underserved communities. We're focusing on poor, we're focusing on minorities and small business. Our commitment represents over 16% of our total assets. As the plan is implemented, I believe Cadence will be setting a new standard in its commitment to meet mortgage and small business credit needs throughout the communities we serve. We're very focused on low to moderate income neighborhoods, people of color. The plan will also contribute to community development and reinvestment throughout the community, as development loans and investments are very targeted in low to moderate income communities. The plan includes the introduction of new loan products, the opening of new branches, and grants and donations to charitable organizations serving community development purposes. I'm extremely proud of Cadence's strong commitment. I know it will make a difference in the communities we serve. We've had a long-standing commitment to serving our communities, but honestly, the death of George Floyd really hit our consciousness, and we've become more motivated to improve our DEI efforts. It's personal for us at Cadence. We want to be part of the solution and see systemic racism eliminated. We're engaging with groups like the Houston Minority Business Development Agency so we can be part of the solution and support small businesses with the financing they need. We want to be there for your business and provide you with financial assistance needed to help your business thrive. So this is the shameless self-promotion part of the program. At Cadence, our motto is for same-day service, call by 8 p.m. We're looking for business, and I ask all of you to consider Cadence. Other organizations we support are, for example, the Houston Business Development Corporation. We made a $500,000 pledge to Mayor Turner's City of Houston Complete Communities Initiative, something I'm really proud of, and see that stimulating economic growth and community revitalization. We've had a long-standing relationship with the Minority Enterprise Small Business Investment Company, MESBIC as it's known. We've supported government-chartered venture firms that invest in companies that are at least 51% owned by members of minority groups. We're pleased to have recently made a $50,000 lead gift to the Houston Area Urban League to fund the development of its Center for Social Justice and Education. The center will conduct educational workshops combating racial inequities and injustice, including those in the corporate workplace. We recently launched a partnership with Unity National Bank, the only Black-owned bank in Texas. This strategic mentor relationship will be a positive step towards better encouraging and supporting business and individual and families in the minority underserved communities in the Houston area and in Atlanta. We also work very closely with the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce to support the Hispanic business community. I'm a longtime supporter and current board member of the Chamber, and I'm honored to have been asked to serve as chairman of the organization next year. I'll be the first non-Hispanic to serve in this role. So I'm aware that many barriers and hurdles exist, but motivated people that work hard have more of an opportunity now than ever before. More doors are open today, and every day presents opportunities. There are a lot of good people out there committed to developing programs that affect meaningful change. To succeed, it's important that all of us take that initiative. I encourage you to walk through the door, ask the curious question that might lead you to take that first next step. Let me tell you a fun, quick story about one of my first jobs. 1977, I know, eons ago. A friend of mine recruited me to go sell books door to door. We first went to Nashville for a week of sales training, the Southwestern Book Company. I know many people think it maybe was Bibles or encyclopedias, but no, it was study guides for high school students and for preschools. We had a very well-scripted sales program. The first objective was to go to Mrs. Jones' door, knock 3 times, take 2 steps back, turn to your right, When Mrs. Jones opens the door, I say, I'm Paul Murphy. I sell Southwestern books. I'm talking with all the people in the neighborhood who have preschool and school-age children. You are Billy and Susie's mom, right? Because I did due diligence at the house next door. Mrs. Jones would say, yes, I'm Billy and Susie's mom. Fine, may I come in, break eye contact, reach down, and get your book back. If Mrs. Jones said, the books cost too much, keep going with your sales pitch. If Mrs. Jones says, it costs too much, keep going with your sales pitch. The third time Mrs. Jones says it costs too much, you would say, well, really, Billy's in the 9th grade. If he uses a study guide, once a week for high school, it's 18 cents, investment in your young man's education. The point in all of this is that it was a pretty intense calling program. We worked 6 days a week. Our job was to knock on 80 doors to demo the book 30 times to sell 2 books a day. I was a little better than most. I was able to sell about 2.5 books a day. You get a lot of rejection. You get a lot of doors closed. You do get halfway through the demo a lot of times and are very nicely asked to leave, not always nicely. But my point of bringing up this story is that to me, it's a life lesson. It's what I encounter as a banker. It's what small businesses encounter. It's what construction companies encounter. You got to knock on a lot of doors. You're going to get a lot of no's. But if you can sell 2 or 2.5 books, then for me, that was enough to allow me to go back to college and have at least a pretty decent college budget to live on. So it took a lot of knocking on doors, but I kept moving forward and kept working hard. I was recently able to reflect on a time when I spoke to middle school students in Houston's East End about personal financial growth and the goals those students would need to achieve their dreams. That came full circle for me in September when I received an email from Chris Castillo, one of our bankers. He had been a student in that classroom 15 years ago, and he said looking back, it was a turning point in his life. Today, Chris is a successful young banker with a promising future. He was recently chosen to participate in the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Emerging Leaders Institute. He's going places. I'm incredibly humbled by his email, yet it does provide a reminder of the importance of hard work and dedication. So as I mentioned in my comments, we invite you to give us a try. We're responsive. We work hard. We'd like to get to know you. I'd like to close with a few words of encouragement. Aim high, work hard. Good things will happen. Thank you.
And now we want to recognize the award recipients. When the coronavirus pandemic hit Houston, the Associated Builders and Contractors of Greater Houston was one of several organizations that came together to advocate for the workers in the construction industry. This saved countless jobs and major construction projects throughout the city. That's what true leadership looks like. Over the past 5 years, Houston MBDA and ABC have supported one another in many programs and initiatives. We are proud to recognize the organization and its president, Russell Hamley.
Well, this is quite an honor. ABC, what we like to do is train the industry. So we're always reaching out to diverse groups of people and try to bring enough people into the industry, and then we train them to do specific skills. There is a skilled worker shortage in the Houston area, and it's really been around for almost a decade now. The skilled laborers that are my age are leaving the industry, and so we're out actively recruiting younger people and teaching them skills that they don't learn in any other program so that they can have a successful career in construction. So the craft workers in particular, the welders, the pipe fitters, the plumbers, the electricians, we have programs for them. And then moving up into the ranks, we have estimating programs, project management programs, leadership programs for the various levels of all assets of the construction industry. Well, there is definitely a shortage in the construction industry of all workers. And minorities, particularly in Houston, make up a large sector of the population. We cannot fill all the jobs with just without people of color or women. That's our one industry, one sector that is really needed into the industry. That's 50% of the population. And a lot of construction jobs are actually better suited for women than they are men. And so we are actively seeking a diverse group to come into the industry of all colors, of all ethnics, creeds, and genders. Well, as Houston expands, the amount of construction that goes on, and therefore the quantity of construction workers, continues to expand. There is the generation that is leaving the industry because of retirement, and so we have seemingly a huge need for new workers into the industry at all levels, the beginning apprentices and also college-educated workers. So I think ABC and the services that we provide for the industry are going to be needed for a long time. I don't see any end to this as long as Houston is growing like it is, and it's never stopped growing. It will continue to grow, and therefore the need for more people to engage in the construction industry is going to be needed. Well, we have numerous stories of people who had nowhere to go, second chance offenders, people that didn't have a stable life, coming to us and seeking information about how we can help them find a career. And I have a lot of stories of people who have gone through our training programs, go out and because of their employment, buy new trucks, are happily married, raising their kids, and thoroughly enjoy the job they do. I get a lot of satisfaction myself when I hear stories of people that tried 3 or 4 different jobs and didn't like any of them, and then they found out about being an electrician or being a welder, and that really they're excited about the job. They love their job. Another story in particular, I met a gentleman going through our program, his first year in our training program for mechanical HVAC work. And 5 years later, he started his own company. And now he employs about 25 other people. He's brought all those people through our program, basically found them without any skill sets. And now he is very successful as a mechanical contractor. He's bringing other people into the program, and we talk frequently about how much ABC has helped him, his family, his success, and of his employees that he's bringing through the programs now.
When Victor Andrade first became a Houston MBDA client, he wanted guidance on getting his residential concrete business minority certified. That was in 2014. Now, years later, his company is a multi-million-dollar operation that handles large-scale projects throughout the region. He is a true American success story. For the past 3 years, his company has continued supporting the Salute to Minorities in Construction event as a gold sponsor, and we couldn't be happier to present his firm with the Construction Client of the Year award.
Diversification, because we're really big in both the residential and commercial sectors of construction. It could be, like I said, something small, like a shopping center, to Olympic-sized swimming pool. Digging a hole for that and putting it in, to raising the OG weir at Lake Houston Dam, having to raise that 7 feet. That was a really complex project. But we got it done. To do an elevated structured concrete, which is something that we've been tapping into. We've been blessed that we have the subs, and employees to be able to handle projects like that. I think it's important to have minorities at the table because we all come from different backgrounds in life, and being myself, I'm Mexican American. I was brought over at 4 years old, and grew up in a low income household with 6 kids. It was six brothers and sisters, so I had to deal with a lot of different adversities than other people. I've had to work really hard to get to where I am, help my parents out at a really young age to make ends meet. I'm at 12, 13 years old working, saving money to be able to buy clothes during the summer, for school. And I think that, having different people from different walks of life at the table really helps, see things from another perspective. It was very, very stressful. And then us here too, on the public sectors, delayed payments, even more. Public the same way. Like the housing market, 2 weeks into it, they were like, hey, we're going to have to drop your budgets. I'm like, how? So we had to go around to our subs and be like, hey, we're going to have to drop your budgets. There's no work. And then a month later, there's crazy busy. I'm like, hey, now you got us at real low budgets and we can't get anybody to come work because everybody else is starting to pay more money. So it was just been a battle. It's been very, very hectic, very, very stressful, but it's getting there. We were able to work things out, but we just still haven't found that coasting yet. We want to be at that coasting level, but right now it's just been all over the board. But it's getting there. But yeah, it's been very, very hectic and very, very stressful, for sure. The future for us, I'm hoping more growth and more opportunity. Like I said, I really want. Right now, we're in we're trying to do a healthy growth. I'm trying to hire the right people to fill key roles that been needed. I've learned a lot. I've tried to do a lot of things myself, and it was possible when I was smaller. But as we've been growing, I've been having a lot of growing pains. So now I know that, hey, you do need the right type of person. It's different pay level, everything's different, but you need those type of people to be able to succeed. To really grow the business right. So that's what I'm working on. Building relationships. That's key. I know that'll happen. Like I said, just getting with the right people and bringing the right people on the team. I would say just a lot of hard work and don't give up. There's going to be hard times and you're going to struggle. Take baby steps. Don't try to take it all in at once. It's live and learn. Do a little bit at a time, what you can handle, and don't try to bite the cake all at once because it's not pretty.
Over the years, Cadence Bank has been a staunch supporter of the Houston MBDA. The company began sponsoring several MBDA events and has been an active participant in the Salute to Minorities in Construction event. In addition, their executives have supported other businesses directly by sharing important banking knowledge with local entrepreneurs in construction and other industries. We are delighted to present Cadence Bank with the Corporate Advocate Award.
Oh, this is a tremendous honor to be recognized at the Advocate of the Year Award. That means that we're doing something special in the community by providing products and services that can help those who are running a small business and those who want to start a small business. We provide products and services to small business lenders to help them achieve that ultimate goal of owning their own business. So being recognized by something like this means that we're doing our job, and we appreciate the partnership. We made a number of positive contributions because since I've come here since 2017, we've come up with products and services, whether it's mortgage, whether it's small business, whether it's investment products or community development lending products, for those in low to moderate income areas. And those people have normally been ignored by financial institutions historically. So we're bringing products and services to those who really need it. Well, for one thing, minorities are a part of the country. Minorities are a part of this financial institution. And so it makes sense that everyone is invited to the table. We all have different perspectives on how to solve problems, and all of those should be listened to. The bigger question to me is, now that we have all these diverse people at the table, will they be listened to, and will their suggestions be taken seriously to enact some type of action to solve some of the issues that are going on in the country? How much time do I have? I could do this all day. I'll name a few. Lemonade Day, we're really proud of because that teaches young people from kindergarten up to 9th grade on how to be an entrepreneur. You know, we don't always want to be consumers. We want to own our business too. So that gives them the blueprint on how to be an entrepreneur. The Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is another partner that we're proud to work with. Also, Minority Business Development Association, I got to give a shout out to them. And also Mayor Turner's Complete Communities, which helps low to moderate income neighborhoods thrive and to be revitalized. So those are some of the things that we're working with, but we have plenty more that we're working with, but I'll just name a few. Well, Cadence gives you that true community bank feeling. You know, we work with people in the communities that make them feel comfortable with us. And we have a lot of products and services designed especially for them so that they can thrive and that children can thrive and that communities can be better. One of the things that we work with the Houston Black Real Estate Association. What they did is promote our mortgage product, a mortgage product that we specifically designed for low to moderate income individuals. It really helps those who want to be first-time homeowners. And when you get an opportunity to witness someone who's being given that house key for the first time, that, my God, all the work and all the savings that they've done, now that they can own their own home, that's fulfilling. That's really fulfilling. And it makes it all worth it.
The Houston MBDA has collaborated with the City of Houston's Office of Business Opportunity since its inception in 2013. In fact, 2 MBDA directors previously worked for the office. Over the years, MBDA has partnered with the OBO on a variety of initiatives, including workshops, webinars, trainings, and other events. Most recently, the MBDA helped the City of Houston launch its Small Business Economic Relief Program. Now, under the leadership of Director Marsha Murray, the Office of Business Opportunity is poised to continue its track record of success. We're happy to present OBO with the Community Partner of the Year Award.
It's a great honor. I have to say, on behalf of Mayor Sylvester Turner and the City of Houston, we're really honored to be recognized for the work that we've done in supporting minorities in the construction industry. So we have been intentional about creating opportunities for minority businesses in the construction industry. The City of Houston spends millions and at times billions of dollars on construction projects. And as a city, we've decided that we want to make sure that minorities get a piece of that pie. In the last fiscal year alone, we've spent over $280 million with minority business enterprises in the construction arena. Minorities need to be at the table to actually highlight the gaps that exist in our society as a result of race, to hear how the different entities who are interested in making substantial changes can actually make those steps. There needs to be information provided about what exactly do we need to do in order to make a difference. Undoubtedly, this is a city where if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to work hard, you're willing to be a rainmaker, you can absolutely succeed, because this is a city that is invested in making sure you do so. I have to say that the most rewarding aspect is the impact that we're actually able to make in our local economy. Through the work that we have done to make sure that small businesses have access to different contracting opportunities, we've been able to effectuate change in terms of creation of jobs and influence the future financial stability of persons in this community.
When Dewan Mouton joined his father's successful janitorial service, he got the idea to expand the company into construction. Now Dewan and his father Dwayne routinely rehabilitate homes for Houston's Fifth Ward Community Development Corporation, among others. After becoming a client, Dewan needed help improving his estimating skills and reached out to the Houston MBDA. They connected him with the Houston Community College resource. Keep your eyes on Dwayne and Dewan Mouton of All-in-One Building, Maintenance, and Construction, this year's winner of the Construction Trailblazer Award.
I mean, it means a lot to us, you know, to be part of the Minority Salute, us being a minority firm and just growing and where we come from. It's a great honor to be a part of it. I would say the contribution would be a lot to homeowners, because we work a lot in residential. So a lot of homeowners being able to renovate their houses and, you know, get to houses, make the house their dream houses again. You know, so that would be our main contribution that we have just so far. Having a voice is big, because a lot of times it seems like minorities are overlooked when they saying things. They're, you know, protesting and stuff. It seems like minorities are being looked over. So just by having that voice, people are acknowledging minorities. I mean, the voice alone is a great thing, and hopefully with the voice, actions follow. I'm proud of my biggest accomplishment, just even coming in, joining the business, and getting us to this point. You know, from at-home office to having an office facility, and, you know, got company trucks, and, you know, grew the team. We still growing and stuff. Just even to the point where we at, this is definitely, I got to say, is my biggest accomplishment to the level that we have the city certifications, partner up. You know, we've done jobs with the airport and stuff. I mean, that's big for us coming from where we came from. So, I mean, those are the greatest accomplishments I could say.
Well, it means to me it's a great honor, and I'm glad that we're able to be able to participate in what y'all have going on, and that we was able to be honored. So it's an honor to our company and myself. Well, the positive that we made is honesty, and, you know, guaranteed a job that will be completed and at the top of the mark, not halfway. You know, we don't halfway buy material. We don't halfway do a job. We do it, You know, if it's a $5,000 job, we do it just like it's $1 million job. So we don't undercut anything. Everything we do it guaranteed. Well, given to what's going on now, it's important that we show people a different side of what other people see. You know, maybe they don't see the business side. Maybe they don't see people out striving for excellence. So it's best for us to put our best foot forward to show young black men and young black women that you can be successful and don't give up on whatever you're doing. Well, we was able to keep our people working, but far as the clientele, it slowed down quite a bit because of the COVID. But we have kept every worker working. We have not had laid off anybody, but far as ownership, we had to cut our pay a little. But I wanted to make sure that my workers was able to take care of their families. So that's why I made the decision to cut my pay in order to keep everybody else rolling. Well, hey, I'm looking for great things to happen, and we've been doing this for a while, and we continuing to do it, and we're not going to give up. I want to give back to the community, but I also want my legacy to live on with my kids and other black young men that come in and learn the trade, learn what they're doing, and maybe be nationwide. So sky's the limit for what I'm looking for. Well, I'm most proud of that. The legacy from my dad moved on to me, and now I'm passing it on to my son, and we continuously go. And I thank God that He blessed us to be in business this long, because you start a business, you start just to make some money, and pay your bills, and so the way that it's growing is really a blessing. I never even imagined that it would go this far. So I thank God for, blessing us to be able to continue on and continue to move Ton legacy going.
Houston MBDA Business Center started this Salute to Minorities in Construction in 2015. We had no idea that it would turn into an annual celebration. We are proud of our award winners and their well-deserved recognition. We're grateful to our sponsors and patrons. Thank you.